adhere to a deadline. I don't know where you do that at. Any job you have, they post the job, they tell you what the deadline is about the job, and then you have the opportunity to kind of thing or whatever. If you don't have all your stuff in by that time, why are we now changing the rules to accommodate you?
To me, that's changing the rules.
It is changing the rules. You're changing the rules to accommodate, and then they do it under the guise of we don't have qualified people.
Well, they didn't say that. They didn't say they don't have no qualified people.
But they alluded to that. But they alluded to it because you had one member.
But they can't say that. They can't say that because Valerie Wanza, who's the chief of staff of and who was the deputy superintendent, I think that's what her last title was, is part of that pool. So there's absolutely no way on this planet that they can say they don't have qualified people.
No, I know, but one of the board members said one of the board members, I think it was Tori Austin, he was talking to the company that was looking for the superintendent. He said, you told me last time that we had 2 solid people who were two qualified people. He in turn said, no, we have 5, right? That's what the guy said.
He said they had 5 people that met the criteria that was set by the board.
Right. And member Austin said, well, quite frankly, personally, for me, we probably got 1.5, 2. That's what he said in terms of that was qualified. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he did say that on record, right? Not that everybody wasn't qualified. He just said 1.5, 2 people are qualified. The other people he's not too sure of. Another board member piggybacked on what he said and said the same thing. And then I think that's when the discussion came in so we could reopen it, get the right people and all that other stuff or whatever. So for me, that's alluding to saying that the people you have are not that qualified. So you need to open it back up again. For me, I just
who was alluding to that? You think Tori Austin was alluding to that? He didn't say that at all. He did not say that they should open up what I saw, he did not say that they needed to reopen the search to have additional applicants. That was not said by him. And that wasn't even suggested by him either.
What did he suggest then?
No, he was just, the applicant pool is there. They want to interview these 5 people, have at it. Because for him,
what he said was he wanted to get rid of the company that did the thing.
Right, because they had a list of 26 and most of them people weren't qualified for the position.
That's what he said. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay. So I understand that's what you're saying, but then you have to also watch how you say it. So he didn't say that the people weren't qualified, like in the sense that they didn't have the credentials that they need in order for them to have the position. Now, what he did say was that he think that there's 1.5 candidates that stand out above the rest.
That's
right?
Not what he said. Okay. That's what he said. He said that he for him personally, only 1.5, 2 meets the criteria. That's what he said.
Meets the criteria for the job or meets his criteria for a person that's a superintendent?
He said meets the qualification. He used the word qualifications to be in the position. That's what he said. He said 1.5, maybe 2. That's what he said.
Meet the qualifications for the job?
For the job.
Okay.
But I'm not saying it in a sense that he's saying everybody else wasn't qualified. I'm saying that he's saying for that particular position, he said maybe 1.5, 2 meet that qualification. That's what he said.
Meets his qualification, but not the standards that was set by the board.
Probably not. Maybe I would agree with that.
Because I don't think he said that it's only 2 people that met the standards set by the board when the search committee brought forth 6 people who met the standards set by the board. Okay, yeah. I don't want to ascribe no words to the man that he didn't say, because he didn't say that they did not meet the criteria that was set by the board. Now, whether or not he thinks it's maybe 2 people who he would think would be good at the position, that's something different. But to suggest that they didn't meet the criteria that was set by the board, that's not how I understood what he said. But if that's how you understood it, then that's how you understood it.
To me, but he also made a request to, I guess his amendment was to get rid of the company. And then I think he also said that they could have done the job. The board could do the job as well in terms of finding a superintendent.
That's quite possible too, because they were getting calls from people that were interested in the position. So if they were getting calls for people that was interested in the position and the search committee weren't familiar with them, the board probably can do a better job. of finding that individual.
I personally feel like they really should be doing the job. I don't think.
And one of the other things I believe he suggested it, or maybe what's his name? Fogan Holly suggested. I'm not sure which one, and I don't want to subscribe. But they were saying that they basically should have just allowed any company to find a person for them, and whichever company found a person gets paid for that, right? Like their firms. They're firms that you headhunters, they might use a different word, that they should just open up to let any headhunter find a person for them, and whoever they ended up hiring, then the headhunter should get paid, as opposed to them paying somebody to find that. And I think that makes it a more competitive process, and that would, that made sense to me too. I'm not sure which one who said.
Yeah, it was
somebody suggested that.
It was Fogan Holy, and he said that on the onset. He said it way before they had chosen a company to do the search, and I was in agreement too. I think that when you put different companies against each other, they bring the best of their best, right? So you can get the cream of the crop. I agreed with that. I thought that was a good idea, but the board majority didn't see that it was beneficial. I would have thought that it would have been beneficial